5 years. 5 whole years in London, and the only knight I'd met was Sir Galahad of the single supplement bill. I, Amanda, had waltzed onto this plane with visions of a fairy tale romance, picturing a charming Brit sweeping me off my feet. Instead, I was stuck in a reality that felt more like a rom-com gone rogue. Nigeria was a memory I'd purposefully left behind. Sure, the men were plentiful, even bothersome at times, but their dreams rarely extended beyond the village borders. My dreams, however, were like the double-decker buses, big, red, and forever on the move. Ola, my sweet, dependable Ola, was a love as comfortable as a worn-in pair of slippers. But comfort wasn't what I craved. I craved a love story that crackled with city lights and whispered promises of forever. So, with a one-way ticket and a heart full of hope, I ghosted Ola, leaving him with a question mark bigger than Big Ben. London, however, wasn't the bustling metropolis of meet-cutes and grand gestures I'd envisioned. Men here seemed to exist in parallel universes, oblivious to the single goddess gracing their streets. Gone were the persistent parades of admirers I'd known back home. Here I was an island, and apparently even islands craved connection. Then came Dr. McDreamy himself, Dave, a sculpted Adonis with a stethoscope. He was a whirlwind of forbidden nights and exhilarating escapades. We were a walking cliché, stolen kisses in elevator shafts, breathless escapes from security guards. But beneath the designer stubble and bedroom acrobatics, Dave held no dreams of forever. Commitment was a 4-letter word he conveniently skipped over. With a heavy heart, I ended things, the embers of our passionate fling fading faster than a double espresso. Family, that ever-present chorus, started their relentless serenade. My mother, a woman who measured success in grandchildren, yearned for a happily ever after ripped from the pages of a cheap romance novel. They prodded and poked, their suggestions an insult to my fiercely independent spirit. Enter Femi, the archetypal Nigerian husband material, church-going, ambitious, and harboring a fierce baby fever. I, the ever-adaptable heroine, tried to morph into his perfect wife. We even cohabited in a desperate attempt to paint a picture of domestic bliss. But Femi, bless his controlling heart, had a grip tighter than the tube during rush hour. He wanted to dictate everything, from my outfit choices to my social circle. Freedom, once again, became my battle cry. London, I soon discovered, was a city of gated communities. Not literal gates, of course, but invisible barriers erected around hearts. Friendship, connection, even a simple date, all required a golden key I desperately lacked. A pang of regret, sharp and sudden, pierced my heart. Ola, my sweet Ola. By now, we could have been a melody sung in perfect harmony, our lives a duet rich with laughter and children. But I, the siren song of ambition in my ears, had severed the ties that bound us. News of his marriage, his wife, even the wretched Titi, a shard of glass in my already wounded heart, confirmed my worst fears. Desperation, a bitter pill to swallow, became a constant companion. Dating apps, social gatherings, even the hallowed halls of churches, all yielded the same dismal results. Men seeking a fling or a sugar mama, their motives as transparent as a London window. One dreary day, as I disembarked from the train, a familiar voice shattered the monotony. Ike! Skinny Ike, the boy who'd worshipped the ground I walked on during our university days, stood before me, transformed. Gone was the scrawny frame, replaced by a physique that could rival a Greek god. Memories flooded back, the endless favors I'd extracted, the unwavering devotion I'd so carelessly exploited. Yet, here he was, a beacon of possibility in the storm of my singleness. Our conversations flowed effortlessly, a testament to a connection that time hadn't dimmed. He was different, this new Ike, his voice no longer laced with desperate pleas. We talked for hours, the digital divide shrinking with each message. Love, a forbidden fruit I'd sworn off, began to bloom in the fertile soil of our late-night conversations. This perhaps was my destiny, the happily ever after I'd been searching for in all the wrong places. Saturday, the day of our reunion, dawned bright with promise. Dressed to impress, I arrived at his doorstep, a nervous flutter in my stomach. There he stood, my Ike, but beside him, a woman, his wife. The world tilted on its axis. The smile I plastered on my face felt like wallpaper peeling from a damp wall. My breath hitched, a strangled gasp escaping my lips. The air shimmered, distorting the scene before me. Was this some cruel joke the universe was playing? Ike, oblivious to my internal earthquake, beamed. "Amanda, this is my wife, Diana. Diana, this is Amanda, a dear friend from university." His words were a hammer blow, shattering the fragile castle of hope I'd so meticulously constructed. The introductions were a blur, polite smiles masking the turmoil within. The small talk felt like wading through mud, every question a Herculean effort. The afternoon stretched on, an eternity of forced conviviality. Finally, with a mumbled excuse, I made my escape, the city lights blurring into a kaleidoscope of tears as I drove home. Back in the solitude of my flat, the weight of the day settled upon me. Grief, a familiar companion, wrapped its icy tendrils around me. But beneath the sorrow, a spark of defiance flickered. I, Amanda, would not be defeated. Love, it seemed, wasn't a destination to be reached, but a journey to be savored. Perhaps the perfect partner wasn't hiding in the throngs of London, but waiting to be discovered in the quiet unfolding of my own life. The path ahead may not be clear, but for the first time, I wasn't afraid to walk it alone. Perhaps love, when it arrived, would find me not as a damsel in distress, but as a woman, strong, independent, and ready to embrace all that life had to offer. So, here I stand, on the precipice of a new beginning. The future may be uncertain, but one thing is clear. My love story is far from over.